Making up some double hooks for all these Wahoo bags. I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I make these inline 12-0 double hook rigs. You're gonna want yourself 2 stainless steel hooks. These are 12-0s in my case. We're gonna get 2 pieces of heat shrink, 2 2.8 or 9mm crimps, and then about 1 foot long of 900-pound cable. Step 1, find yourself a crimping device. You can use hand crimpers, or I got a bench crimper here. You're gonna slide on the crimp first, and then you're gonna put the hook through. Doesn't matter which way you put it through, and then go back through the crimp and then hook it. But that top hook does dictate whether that hook's gonna be facing inline or opposite, so I'll show you that next clip. So after crimping that first hook on, next step, you're gonna wanna slide the heat shrink over for that bottom eye. I've made that mistake way too many times, because once you crimp the top hook on, there's no way to slide it on there, so you have to cut it over and redo it. But slide it on. I don't like to heat it down yet. I like to see where my crimp is, so I can still see it, so I can line up this next crimp. I'll show you that in a second. So next, you're gonna wanna slide your crimp on, and for my case, like I said, these are gonna be inline hooks, so I'm gonna put it in from the point side over, so that when it flips around, it sits correctly with that bottom hook, whereas if I put it on the other way, it would be facing opposite like that. So we're gonna go on this way, and put that crimp through, and make sure that these crimps line up perfectly with each other, or else that hook is not gonna be perfectly in line, or be a little offset. So I personally like to heat that bottom one first, which now it's obviously upside down, but that bottom hook, just so I get it set in place, and then let that cool, and then go for the top hook. So now that bottom hook's not gonna burn my hand off when I touch it. You do have a little bit of leeway to spin this around in that crimp inside of there if you want. If you didn't crimp it perfectly, as you can see there, if you accidentally had it like that, little spin, straighten it right out, but in my case, straight down is correct. Next, I'm gonna heat that top part, shrink it on. Be careful not to burn your finger off. You're gonna kinda wanna hold this thing in place a little bit until it cools down to harden up, because if you lay it down, it could fold over. Now that everything's cooled down, stiffened up, as you can see, those hooks are pretty much perfectly in line. And all you gotta do if you want this hook to be facing the other way is when you put it on through the eye, like I said, you just put it on backwards and it would be the exact same, but it would be sitting like that.